Right, hello everyone, this is Charlotte and this is a podcast called Chatting in Cars. It's where I talk about random topics as I drive to work badly. And there's a disclaimer at the start of this podcast because I do talk about sensitive topics and I do go on tangents, so it's hard sticking to one because my brain tends to think in networks rather than linear lines, if that's not a double negative or whatever. Linear lines. Anyway, paradox? No, I don't know. I also swear a lot. If you don't want to hear the sensitive content or the swearing, then I suggest you change the channel or don't listen to this podcast because I will keep doing it and I will do it enthusiastically because I enjoy it. And then when you find something you love, you have to do it more often. Yeah, it bodes well for the next boyfriend. Anyway, so the topic for today is something personal to me. Grudges. We are told that we shouldn't hold grudges. Way easier said than done, particularly when someone's wronged you. Now, a grudge is where someone's been an asshole, essentially, and you hold on to that anger that they've caused or that pain that they've caused. And in a good way, it could fuel future endeavors. You could use it as motivation, which I do encourage people to do if they're angry. I say don't be destructive with it. I say try and find a way to make a constructive way of looking at this situation, try and get the best of it, because, you know, otherwise it's just an experience lost, isn't it? You don't want to waste what interactions you do get with people, considering there is a time limit on your entire existence in this particular 3D, so don't waste it. Once again, I'm waiting at an intersection for about 5 idiots in Land Cruisers. There's an interaction. What's it teaching me? Patience. What don't I have? Patience. So I need to work on that. I won't hold a grudge though. Possibly because I'll forget it happened by lunchtime. But you know, you get some really horrible experiences with people and it's hard not to hold a grudge, particularly when it comes to anything that's intensely personal for you. I mean, it's one thing to accidentally run someone's foot over with a trolley while you're food shopping. And you go, oh shit. I mean, you're not going to go on a fucking vendetta about that, are you? But at the same time, if someone has absolutely destroyed your life and broken your heart in the same process, or the same instance, for example, I mean, it's one thing to break someone's heart, but then to completely destroy their life in the process. You kind of want to hold a grudge against that. You know, I mean, it's all well and good to say, oh, well, we're going to turn the other cheek. And I'm sitting there going, why? So they can do it that side as well, you know? We're not supposed to think that way. I mean, that comes from a sort of Judeo-Christian side of things where, you know, Jesus was forgiven and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, that's one way of looking at it. I prefer the Kali Ma version where we get to cut their fucking heads off. But everybody's different, I guess. And we got to respect all beliefs. So, you know, but I think that also comes from me being fucked over a little bit too much. You know, it's one thing for one person to destroy your life once, but when you keep doing it and having to keep rebuilding or dealing with other people's bullshit and trauma, which has then been inflicted on you, sort of residually. For example, my parents taking their shit out on us kids, and us kids, you know, having to try and break that cycle of inflicting on our kids. That's one problem. And then to have someone like my ex-husband do what he did, and then my ex-boyfriend do what they did, and you sit there and you're taking hit after hit after hit, and you're sitting there going, I shouldn't be taking, you know, this much anger towards this. These are their own insecurities manifest in their actions. Prickish as it is, as destructive as it is to me, and as much as it hurts me in the process, which is very me-centric, but at the same time, it's like, I shouldn't be holding a grudge towards that. I mean, the thing to remember as well is these fuckers are gone. It's like, I'm never going to interact with my ex-husband or my ex-boyfriend ever again. I do have to keep, unfortunately, interacting every now and again with my parents. But at the same time, I know my boundaries and I know where I feel comfortable and things I'm not going to be able to do for them or interact with them and say to them. I know I can't tell them anything because it becomes a pissing contest, or, you know, it's like, oh, I'm getting a divorce. Oh, well, your father's a piece of shit. And it's like, why you always got to go one up me? Why can't you just let me sit in my misery? Your father's a piece of shit. He's a bastard. It's like, what the fuck, Mum? As an asshole. It's like, I know. I lived with him. I'm well aware of what he is. Unfortunately, because you didn't protect us from these assholes, I then attracted one as an ex-boyfriend and as ex-husband. So, you know, so do you hold grudges against that, or do you see the learning experience in it? Try and see the learning experience in it, because you're gonna, if you sit there and hold a grudge, it's gonna fester and you'll just implode. Or you can have like a psychological meltdown. Luckily, I can detach myself quite a bit emotionally from experiences, partly because I just don't get it. A lot of things people do, I don't understand why they do them. But again, that's because it doesn't line up with the things I've been told should happen. You know, with autism, there's a lot of rule following. You're told these are the sets of rules, follow them, that is the job. And you go, okay, don't do drugs. All right, wasn't going to anyway. Don't smoke, don't drink, all this kind of thing. Don't cheat. That was another one. It's like, we don't cheat. So, and that's, you know, that's part of my makeup now, is not to do that kind of thing. Because it's just, you don't. You say, okay. There's no argument there. I'm not going to dispute the fact that I don't want to do that because you said it's wrong, so I won't. But at the same time, when you find conflicting behaviors and things from other people that have been taught otherwise, not that they've got ASD or anything, but because they've just normalized these behaviors like cheating and infidelity and violence and things like that, it's conflicting to you, to your moral code, your inner moral code, which you've been developing for the last God knows how many years, if not decades, to try and understand what your sense of reality is. So it conflicts with that, conflicts with your ego because you think you're right, and I could be wrong. I have no problem with being wrong. I've been wrong a lot because I've been told one set of information and found out later to be untrue or relative to that particular context or individual. So I'm like, okay, so now I have to change that, or I need to tweak that, or, you know, it doesn't quite fit. Like, my parents don't believe in divorce, which is why they still exist within a very toxic marriage. I had to renegotiate that in my brain with my moral code going, I don't want to exist in this toxic relationship myself, or my version of it with my ex-husband. So now I have to believe that divorce is okay because I need to escape this particular format that they're trying to reproduce. And that's what breaking cycles are. You go, this doesn't work for me. Am I running away from my responsibilities? No, because I know this person is trying to hurt me if I stay. And it's harder when you've got elements like kids involved or mortgages involved, because you want to do the right thing in your own mindset on the spot. Like, I was ready to get divorced the day I separated from him. I'm like, this is done, I'm out. It's like, and I never switch up like that. I never do. It takes me forever. And like, even when I was building up to the leaving part of him, I remember writing in my diary saying, if he's still like this after 5 years, I'm going. So I gave him like a buffer zone of 5 years to figure out how to be a man, and how to respect me as a wife before I was going to even think about leaving. And I'm sitting there going, if I just leave it for 5 more years, it's like, if I just, by the time I'm 40, or by the time I'm this, and I kept pushing that boundary back and thinking, it'll get better, it'll be all right. But it was such a, straw that broke the camel's back, or the analogy I use, which I felt at the time, was that he flew too close to the sun. He asked for the unaskable, and it was just too much. That was the thing. His wings melted and he fucked off. And I'm like, wow, that broke that fucking project. It was like, bye, Icarus. But it was too much for me at the time to understand, and from that my entire life collapsed. And for the first year I was grieving. I was in depression and all these kind of diagnosable things. It wasn't just a case of my marriage failed. Because of my marriage failing, everything failed. Everything had a knock-on effect. To be honest, I was just struggling to get out of debt and to get a roof over my head for at least a year after that. 2 years I knocked off the debt. By the end of the second year, I was just like, I don't want anything to do with this asshole ever again. I've been burnt. I'm out. I'm still angry. And you can tell from my other podcasts that I still had a grudge against him. I don't have a grudge against him now, I don't think, because I just don't care. I'm like, I know you to be a fuck up. Inevitably, you will fuck up the next thing you get, because you fucked up every other subsequent thing that you had when I knew you. So it's not really a problem. I'm not thinking, oh, it was a personal attack on me. I'm sitting there thinking, you're a fuck up. And I just happened to be a casualty of war in that case. It was like, I stuck around long enough to see how much of a fuck up you were, because he then started taking it out on me. And I'm like, I could have left sooner, but I didn't feel strong enough. And I know I didn't at the time, because I was still very naive in that relationship, thinking that it would get better, and I had low self-esteem as well, because I just didn't think that I could manage being alone. And I fucking proved that wrong. Like, in fact, you do quite well on your own. Not only do you do quite well on your own, you're really good with money, really good with time, and getting shit done, and the house has always stayed clean so you don't have to wipe someone else's ass. Do you get lonely? Yeah, sometimes. I miss things like living with someone, or, you know, having someone to come home to, I miss. But at the same time, remembering what it was outweighs what it could be. You know, you're sitting there going, that's not a risk to reward ratio that I particularly like. Because yes, I would have someone to come home to, but he'd be going to other people as well. And I'm like, I'm not putting up with that shit. That's disrespectful to me. That doesn't help my mental health. I would see myself spiraling. My self-esteem would take a dip again. My bank account would take a dip again. Because I'd be constantly trying to get his attention through buying him things and funding his little projects and trips to Bali and shit like that. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is not the person for me. This person is incredibly fucking toxic. They're not going to grow up. Because by the time I left him, we were both 33. It's like, this person has fully formed frontal lobes. They are still a piece of shit. It's done. Get out. You know, it's like, this fucker ain't changing for anyone. He needs to find someone who is like him. And maybe they could make it work, or maybe it could be toxic. Who knows? It's not my problem anymore. You know? So you come to settle with the fact that this person isn't for you, even though you've strung and held on to this one person for this fucking long. It's like, this guy has to be my guy. I have to have him. He's the one I married. He's my everything. I've invested my entire self and my reality into this one fucking person. And then one day he says, I need an open marriage. It's like, and you go, fuck no! Fuck off! I'm not doing this. I cannot believe you would throw everything that I am away just for the sake of getting your dick wet. And it ain't that fucking good. You know, it was arrogance. That was the Icarus moment where he flew way too close to the sun. He was too far up his own arse. And that was just a reflection of a series of bad interactions with people that he had growing up. His parents enabled him. His grandma worshipped him. You know, he's like, oh, he's the firstborn. He's my, you know. She liked the younger boy too, his brother. But at the same time, the oldest always gets the fucking attention, and I don't understand that. His mom enabled his requests, I should think, because she cheats on her, or she cheated on her husband, so it was normalized. There was no one to stick up for my values in that particular point except for the younger brother, who called him to his face a piece of shit. And I'm like, yeah, go Dane. Fucking A. Sticking up for me for once. Well, he was always a good guy, but you know, with this particular large aspect, I'm glad he stuck up for me. I'm like, thank you. Finally, someone who's actually sticking up for me. The dad was just like, oh, I was just another entity in the house. I don't think there was any real connection there. It's like, oh, your wife's here again. Yeah, okay. It's like, do I know you, Jeff? It's like, I know of you. But you know, we're all very naive. The two of us were pretty naive, I think, in that assumption that he would get his way and that I would be able to make it work if I had accepted it. It's like, I'm not going to accept that. It's like, at that point, it was my first real stepping up as a boss moment. I'm like, I am not taking that shit. I've taken every other fucking piece of shit you've thrown at me. For 16 years, I'm not taking this particular piece of shit because it completely characterizes what kind of a person you are in this one request. It wasn't even a request, it was an ultimatum. So you tried to corner me as well. So the practice itself, not just the content, but the practice you tried to participate in, showed me that you are a piece of shit not worth my time. It's like, no. It's like, I'm not doing this. You can go fuck yourself. And I love that I actually stood up for myself there. So it's hard to hold on to a grudge with something where you learn something significant about yourself. What is this guy doing? I got a guy in a bar trying to merge with no indication. He's driving on the shoulder. What the fuck are you doing? Fucking Australia. You know. Oh, he's got an indicator after all. Douche. Anyway. But it's good because it's easy to hold on to the anger. I mean, I use anger as motivation because that's the way I was raised. Is it, you know, someone tells you can't do someone, you do someone. Do something, you get angry and you use it as a, you know, launch pad to go get something done. I mean, I swear that's half the reason my parents are together, because they just piss each other off, and that's how things work along. Not with my dad, you just get pissed off and goes off in half. But my mum is motivated heavily by anger. She's a big fuck it, I'll do it myself fan, and she's put that into us girls as well. It's like you get some asshole guy who's not pulling his weight, you're like, oh fuck it, I'll do it myself, you know. And we shouldn't have to get to that point. It should be a working together thing. It shouldn't have to be that much of a, I say leader, but it's not just a case of leading, it's a case of pulling all the weight because the other fucker doesn't want to, or can't be arsed, or can't be bothered, you know? It shouldn't come to that where you're pulling the majority of the load. And they'll play on, oh, but I'm sick, or oh, I've got a headache, or a migraine. It's like, no, women have just as much problems as men. We have more biological problems, I can assure you, when it comes to organs and systems going up in flames every regular couple of months or monthly. We still manage to keep going. We don't sit there and have a bitch and whine. We pull up and go on, you know, it's the fuck. So it's frustrating. I know I tend to attract guys that are weak, and it annoys the fuck out of me. I'm not saying I need you to be like a alpha male, because even watching those interviews, you sit there and going, well, that's not even alpha male. That's just, I need you to be a chick with a dick, dude. How do I put this gently? It's like I don't need you to go and kill bears and shit. I need you to use your initiative and get the jobs done, so I don't have to ask you. Because you're an adult, not because you're male. It's just like the random shit. I know it's horrible having to actually face the fact that you're aging. You might actually have to take on responsibilities. Anyway, I could go on for hours with that, considering I had, what was that, weaponized incompetence in my marriage. I can't do it, or I'm going to do it badly the first couple of times, and then you'll get fed up and do it yourself. That's weaponized incompetence. My ex-husband loved that, my dad loved that, my ex-boyfriend loved that. It's like, because it means I don't ask him again, and I'm sitting there going, I fucking hate that. You know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to play into this game of not asking you again. I'm just going to leave. Because clearly you are incompetent as an adult, and I find that possibly the most unattractive thing in a man yet. Infidelity I should say, is also up there. It's like you're incompetent in committing, so you're dumb. It's like, why are you making yourself dumb? Why are you being proud of the fact that you're dumb, player? It's like, what the fuck? Get away from me, dumbass. No, it's so weird. So we don't hold grudges. We should use some examples as to why we shouldn't interact with people, or those particular people. Interacting with people in general is a need. You have to do it. You live amongst them. You might need them for at some point for a service or a good, I should say. Like my entire job at this point is relying on admin, which are showing me at this point that they're a little bit incompetent themselves, in order to give me work so I can get on with my projects, pay-wise and everything like that. I do have slight grudges against some schools that I won't go back to, because they treat their staff like shit. I'm going, I have an option to leave this place and never come back, because I have so many other options to pick up, which is one of the perks of doing relief teaching. If you're sucked into one particular school for a year contract at a time, then you've got to put up with their shit for a year, and then maybe at the end you start thinking, do I want to stay? But with relief, it's like a new chance every day for them to get it right. And if they fuck up, you go, no, I'm not coming back here. And I've done that with about 4 or 5 schools now. But I'm also signed up to like 78 of them, so it's like, I've got options. If you fuck up, I don't come back. I'm very British in that. You know, we go to restaurants and they fuck up the order, we go, well, I'm not going to complain, but I'm definitely not coming back. It's like, fuck you guys, passive-aggressively. But, you know, we don't sit there and kick a fuss and a fuss, you know, we're not American. We take a stand on our freedoms and whip out a gun. We say, well, this was awful, I'm not coming back. Bye. I can't believe they do that. The amount of shitheads called, I want to see the manager. Show me the manager. Here's the manager. Now what? I'm not happy. Who fucking cares? It's like, this little Indiana Jones totem animal toy comes out. This is the manager. Trying to swap it with a bag of sand. What the fuck? I don't know why I go off on random. But it's ridiculous. You know, they stand on their freedoms. It's like, your freedoms at the moment are impeding on every other person's freedoms in that country, so I don't know why you think you actually have the illusion of freedom, but go for it. My freedom of speech, but you can't say anything that anyone else doesn't want to hear, because that's impeding on their freedoms of speech. Shit, freedom paradox. So really there is no freedom, it's an illusion. We can't handle that. We've got an American education system. Concepts of things like that and abstracts are impossibly hard to grasp. You know, like including book syllabuses that include anyone else's ideas but us. Half these fuckers can't read anyway. I don't know what you're worried about book lists for. I'm not going to stop shitting on the American education system because their healthcare system's worse. Now, if you survive to get to school and you don't get shot in school, here's a list of books you're not allowed to read because they don't mimic what we want you to be. But you've still got freedoms, but they're not there. And COVID with bees and guns. Now have fun with that, because I've watched The Simpsons. Guns with bees in her mouth and bees with guns in their mouth. I don't know. It was a weird episode. I have weird flashbacks to things like that. Some of you who are the millennial generation are looking at that and going, I know that episode. It's like, I know, we all know that episode. Except Gen Z, because they're dumb and not cool like us. Without guts in our shitty beards. Anyway, so don't hold grudges. Oh, I'm gonna have to change lanes because you're gonna fuck that line up. Ooh, you nearly died? Yay, industrial driving. Anyway, this is fun. Sorry, I'm just watching Hiluxes. It always seems to be Hiluxes and Navaras that want to die. And Beamers. They will take on a lorry full of cement just to test whether they survive. It's like, I like your stupidity level. It's like watching human fail videos in real life. It's the 3D interactive experience. You fucking morons. Keep going. Don't hold grudges. Find it entertaining. I find them entertaining when people really fuck up. It's like, it's gone, sometimes people have pissed me off so much that it's gone beyond a joke, and it's now fun watching them destroy themselves. I don't... Jesus, fucking Hiluxes. Fuck you, guy. Ugh. A heart attack before I even get to work. Nice motorbike. Sorry. Squirrel attention span. But you know, it's just... Don't hold grudges. Just watch them. Just have fun. Understanding there's always consequence to dumb, shitty actions. For example, if you're going to cheat on your spouse is most likely going to leave. If you gossip and spread shit around your social group, if you cheat on each other with each other's spouses, if you stab each other in the back, then you're probably going to lose your part or place in that social group. There's always a consequence to dumb shit, even in the esoteric forms. If you do black magic, there's always a price to be paid. There's no point holding grudges on dumb fucks who've done belly button rosemary oil magic to try and lure your boyfriend away from you. Fucking kitchen magic, I love it. It's cute, but dumb. But cute. And you got all these like 20-something little witches. You got proper witches, of course. Yeah, no, proper ones. But these are all like, I saw it on YouTube and a TikTok and I want to do it. I'm like, first of all, you need to understand the lore and the history and the energy that goes into that shit. And you need to be able to negotiate whether you can pay that fucking price with part of your life. It's like a jail sentence if you fuck it up. You do not want to be the person that fucks that up. There is a payment to be made. I've done it myself. I was very naive and stupid in my early 20s, thinking I want to be with this person for the rest of my life. This is the person for me. I did some stuff I'm not proud of, and it fucked up. I did it at 17, it took 17 years to get rid of the fucker. So it's a life for a life in that sense. If you've done it at 23, you've done it at 33, you're gonna have 33 years of fucking payback to pay back. So I really fucking wouldn't do black magic if I was you. And if you've done it for someone because they paid you, because you believe their bullshit, that they were the victim in a circumstance, you take on that karma. It's like, you are guilty by association. They will make you take that shit on because you didn't bother to do the fine detail. And that's when it comes into the devil's in the detail. Don't do dumb shit for dumb people, really. I know it's a belief system, but there is some element of truth to it. Well, in a 3D. What is that? I don't know. Some kind of a sign. There's a box. But you know, that's just belief systems. You don't have to believe that. I do, because I'm looking at energies from a divinist standpoint. I look at energies. So when someone fucks up by doing some stupid shit manipulation, like love spells, death spells, all that kind of thing, I look at them and I go, are you fucking kidding me? What are you, like 10? So you didn't bother looking. It's like taking out a loan and not reading the fucking contract just because the loan looked pretty at the time. It's like, read the fucking contract, you dumb fuck. Understand where it's coming from. Understand what your part in the payment is. It's dumb as shit. Anyway, you can't hold grudges with idiots like that because most of the time they're speaking from their ego anyway, or acting from their ego. And they do pay the price in the end anyway. For example, one of the common things is if someone does like a money spell on someone to try and drain their own money, they often go into debt because you backfired, you fucking idiot. It's like, that's nasty motive behind that. And you might think that, oh, I'm defending someone because, you know, they did me wrong, they tried to steal my money. It's like, do you actually believe that, or is it because you're being an egocentric asshole and maybe you're jealous of their money or what they're doing with their life, or they're standing in the community? Oh, some shit. This is all part of wanting to belong as well. It's like, I don't have that. It's like, I don't want to belong. I'm just happy to float and look at people. But at the same time, most of the time it's like jealousy or ego gets involved and people just get fucked that way. So just don't. But you can't hold grudges against them because they're just being stupid. And a lot of the grudges come from just people being stupid. I mean, it's stupid to hold a grudge against someone who's being stupid because they either don't know they are being stupid or they're just stupid. It's just like Sixth Sense. What is that? These people are dead. They don't know they're dead. These people are stupid. They don't know they're stupid. It's horrible. I heard somewhere that like we give the population of the community we're in more credit than they deserve intellectually. Because I'm looking at people and assuming they have things like common sense, and most or a large chunk of them don't. There's also a lot of, paired with a lot of misinformation, where people are willing to believe shit, which causes them to act in particular ways. For example, when Trump said everyone should drink bleach to cure COVID, a lot of people fucking died. Now, common sense would say, that's not good. So why would you do that? Why would you drink bleach? But a dumb fuck amount of people turned around and went, he's Trump, he knows what he's doing. He's making America great again, possibly by wiping out the idiots. I don't know. I feel like Putin's doing the same thing at the moment. Anyway, it's like, what are these over middle-aged men and white men up to? They're seemingly trying to just wipe out large chunks of the population through ego-tripping acts. Like conscription, or, I read an article yesterday that Putin's raising his military age from 51, the max age, to 70. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck are we going to do with a bunch of granddads in the field? They can't even hold in their piss, let alone hold up a gun. What the fuck? He's just trying to wipe out 7-year-olds now. It's like, well, they're pretty old. You wiped out a bunch of 50-year-olds because they're like not physically fit for service. No way they fit for service. Everyone's got knee, back, joint, fucked pain. So it just seems to be a strange series of events going on right now, where we've let people sit in position a little bit too long, and nobody's called them on their bullshit because we want to be nice to them, or we don't want to rock the boat. And in this case, it's created a lot of fucking problems. You could go into the esoteric side of things. You've got the indigo kids, I say kids, they're all like adults now. And you've got the crystal children. So you've got the indigo children who are sitting there agitating the system, trying to cause conflict to realign everybody's energies into something more constructive than just being selfish assholes. And then you've got the crystal kids, which are me, coming through and trying to fix everything, or like heal wounds and shit like that. And most of them got like a Chiron aspect, where they're healers, or they're guidance counselors, or they're looking after kids, or they're doctors, or they're nurses, which are trying to fix shit to make it better. Healing the big cuts and things, so nobody starts this shit again where everybody gets hurt, sort of thing. At the moment, I feel like there's been an energetic shift. Yeah, go off and die, you little fuck. Go for it. Kia Sorrento. Fuck you. Tailgating. Another one of my pet peeves. Sorry, I'm an angry driver when I see stupid. Could be ASD, could be trauma. Could be too many fucking minivans with arrogant ass breeders in them who are willing to risk their kids. She's got like 3 kids in that van and she's speeding. These are the people I hand my kids back to. I hate them. I hate them. I do. I'm like, we take more care looking after your kids in the playground than you do in a vehicle that can have them crushed. This is ridiculous. They just don't care. Look, another one. Oh my god. Why are they going? Why do they bother having kids? I don't. You're not putting a thought in behind what is involved in it anymore. It's just like, oh, we accidentally had them. Like, accidentally unhad them. It's like, we can't do that. Abortion's illegal. Oh. There's a conversation I'm not going into today because I'm nearly at work now. But I do feel there's a big energetic reshuffling where things are coming to the light, and Cat Williams, who's recently done stand-up on it, he's sitting there going, right now we're witnessing all these people that are suddenly being made to tell the truth. And we've been brushing lies under the carpet, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, you're right actually, because we don't want to rock the boat, we don't want things to be confrontational, and we want everyone to get along. And right now what we need is some confrontation, I'm afraid, because the scum is sentencing to the top. And nobody's questioning it because either they're afraid to, like in a lot of political arenas, because suddenly they'll go missing, or that we don't want ourselves to be seen as the bad guy by calling, like people are unfaithful out. Because I don't want to rock the boat, I don't want to be the bad guy, I don't want to tell people what they did to me, because then I'll look bad. It's like, no, fuck it, I'll look bad. I'll take the hit for the sake of calling someone out on their shit, and maybe they'll change their ways. Or maybe they'll, at least be a warning to the other fuckers that they're trying to fuck over. I don't mind being the hit in that way. I'll be the arsehole for once, I don't care. I've been the good girl for this long, it's about time I turned into a villain, right? It's like, there's only so much people pleasing I can do because I become people Jesus! You fucking idiot! Cyclists, no armor. Jesus fucking Christ. He nearly fucking died. I'm gonna... Oh. He's trying to die. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Turn to sender. Fuck you. I'm not doing that. I had a cyclist cut across a highway, essentially, and into my lane in front of me. No armor, he's got a helmet on, but he's wearing nothing but fucking spandex. What the fuck is wrong with you? I nearly died if I hadn't slammed on my fucking brakes. Oh my god. It's okay, I stuck my arm out. Oh my god. Bring on the indigos. Break him. At this point, I'm fed up with this shit. I'm fed up with this shit. I nearly hit the fucker. He was about half a meter away from my car. Oh, I nearly had a heart attack. What is wrong with these people? See, this is like I was saying the other day when people aim for me with the trolleys and the fucking walking where they intersect. It's like, now I've got cyclists aiming for my fucking car, cutting across 2 fucking lanes just to do it. What the hell is wrong? It's not even a motorbike. It was a fucking push bike. It's like, why are you trying to die? I still maintain the human race is a self-annihilating species. They are trying to kill themselves. I don't know why. It's like a reverse survival mechanism. We're now trying to get rid of the fucking retards. That was one of them. That had to be one of them. sorry, I screamed. I'm so fucking angry with that. Anyway, we're not going there because I've got to go into work. So there's a bit of my anger / panic. Mainly panic. Oh my god, what a fucking idiot. I wish I had flipped that so you could see what you did. I need a dash cam, man. I need a fucking dash cam. These guys are fucking lunatics. Anyway, I'm not going there, so don't hold grudges today, people. Try not to. These fuckers will keep turning up. Oh my god. Oh, I hate those people. So, I'm pulling into work. I'm driving through my old neighborhood, by the way, so I know the kind of genetics that are in this fucking neighborhood. I'm going, I should have seen that coming. He's gonna die soon, just from doing stupid shit like that, I swear. It'll be something dumb. Like, it would be someone in a Land Cruiser, because, you know, like those Hiluxes we saw, that were speeding and cutting off and tailgating, and or some asshole in a minivan. Two idiots are gonna meet and collide. And everyone will say it's a tragedy. I'll say it's a fucking inevitability at this point. It's like, what are you expecting? Dumb means dumb? You want some kind of fucking rainbows to come out of that interaction? It's like, it's not a tragedy. Fucking social Darwinism if you want to go into it. Oh my god, I think I had a fucking heart attack. You piece of shit. Why do they do that? Anyway, they got so fucking low regard for survival and life that they will just throw themselves out into shit like that. And you sit there and think, I had to calm the fuck down before I go into work because I got my kids now. Anyway, I'm gonna have to leave it there. That was some excitement for today. It's what, like 8:01 in the morning? Piece of shit. Anyway, I'm gonna go, and I'm hoping you have a fantastic day and that you don't hold any grudges. I'm probably not gonna be drinking coffee for the rest of the day. That's a fucking seizure or something. I mean, take those life lessons. These people are not particularly bright at the best of times, as you can see. If I'd have hit him, would he have held a grudge, I wonder? He's like, you fucking idiot. I'm paralyzed because you hit me with a car. You rode out, asshole. Oh, survival of the fittest, you fucking moron. You know, I wonder. I really do. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. So little regard. If it was incredibly little regard for life, or it was a severe arrogant streak where you thought you'd be fine in that instance, they'll stop. It's like, no, actually, this is my old neighborhood. People fucking speed up. They want to hit you. They probably got rhubars and everything on the back of, on the front of a fucking ute. They could speed up with the V8 engine, just like, they could be fucking stupid. How arrogant do you have to be? He only looked about 20 something. I'm like, oh my god, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? But don't hold grudges. I'm gonna go into class and hopefully you have a fantastic Thursday. I can't believe that. Anyway, it's payday for me, so I'm pretty stoked. So that's my day done. Take it easy. I take it as a learning experience. Try not to get angry about it. If anything happens, try and deal with the outcome. That's the best for you. At the moment, I would have had to have stopped my car. Or would I? Because I'm in my old neighborhood. Very common hit and runs in this neighborhood. It's like no one's got insurance money, so we don't bother stopping. But no, ridiculous. I'm so angry that you just threw himself out. Oh, that's gonna bug me all day now. Have a good one, guys. Try not to be angry like me. You know, it's frustrating. Oh my god, I never raised my voice like that. Oh, you piece of shit. Anyway, alright, have a good one. I'll chat to you hopefully tomorrow, okay?